Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my bathroom. You just caught me in the middle of my routine. Starting off this morning with a little bit of masking. It's been a really long week. I'm pretty tired and I just want to take a moment to pamper myself before I get on with the rest of my day. So I figured why not have you follow me along. I'm going to be trying out a few new things and just kind of chatting and spending some time together. So if you're so ready to dive into this morning routine, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So I'm starting off with the Beauty of Joseon Ground Rice and Honey Glow Mask. Now, you know I absolutely love this. I've been raving about it for forever. My jar is basically empty. This was the last use. I definitely need to put an order in for a couple more jars. I really like this because it has all the benefits of a clay mask with all the skin nourishment and moisture of a honey mask. So I definitely need the clay because my skin feels a little bit dull. I definitely am noticing a little bit more congestion with the seasonal change right now. It's starting to get, it's like warm, but then it's also chilly at the same time. So it's kind of making my combination skin get a little like, confused. Do I want to produce oil or do I want to go dry? So I definitely need some of that pore unclogging ability of the clay. But like I said, does it want to be oily or does it want to be dry? I can feel that dryness starting to creep in a little bit. So the honey really nourishes and moisturizes my skin. And what's nice about this mask is that combination with the honey, the clay never really fully dries on your face. I've had this mask on for about 10 minutes before I turn the camera on. And it's not dry. It's not, cracking and like sucking the living moisture out of my skin. But I'm hoping when I wash this off in a second that it's going to help bring a little bit more brightness and life back into my skin and help to refine and clear out some of those blackheads and, the enlarged pores that I have, especially in this area. I'm going to put my face washing cuffs back on because when you wash a mask off, it definitely can get a little water onto your sleeves. I decided to be a Panda today because why not? It brings me a little bit of joy and happiness and a good way to end off this very tiring long week. Okay, I'm really pleased. It definitely brought a little bit more glow and life back into my skin. It was feeling quite dull and I do feel like my pores are looking a little better. I did have a little pimple on this side, so there's some hyperpigmentation, but even that spot's looking a little less angry. So this is the Stratia Aqua Factory Hydrating Toner. I'm so excited about this product. I did talk about it in my October favorites video, and it was definitely one of those products like it was not on my bingo card, right, for 2024 for Stratia to release a hydrating toner, so it was very exciting, but I was also a bit nervous if they were going to really nail it because you know how picky I am about toners, but I have to say like they nailed it. This is a really excellent toner. It really does focus on a lot of natural moisturizing factors, and those are the ingredients that are naturally present within our skin that help our skin hold on to hydration and keep it hydrated and plump and comfortable and balanced. And so we got goodies in here like panthenol and glycerin, some beta glucan in here, but we also have urea, which I absolutely love, and I truly predict urea is going to have a huge moment in skincare. I'm seeing a lot of new products released either featuring urea prominently like in the name of the product or it's prominent in the ingredients list. I think people are finally getting over that weird like concept that urea is somehow like associated with urine and like we're putting pee on our face. No, you're not. This is synthetically created, right? The skincare products are not being derived from urine. It's a synthetic urea, but it's amazing for keeping the skin hydrated. And so let me just show you the texture because you can see, right, that it's quite watery and runny, which, check for me. I love that texture. But do you see that there's just a little bit of body? You see how it's just kind of maintaining a little bit of its shape before I rub it in. And before we move on, I want to mention cleansing. I just used water this morning because, I started off with the mask and I didn't show you what I cleansed with, but it was actually just water. I didn't use any like cleansing product. I still washed my face just with water. This is the Genabelle PDRN Rejuvenating Toner. And this is actually the first time I'm using this. So we're going to get a real first impression review right now. Okay, so first impressions. Texture wise, it is very thin. It's very watery. I'm not really detecting any slip or moisture or like even like a thick gel-like bounciness, you know what I mean, like body. I'm not feeling that at all. It's just very thin, watery. It's just like sinking right into my skin. Let me give you a better close-up of this texture. You can even see in the bottle how runny it is, right? Look at this. Woo! Just went right off, and definitely on the thinner side, but very quickly absorbed. And I do feel a good amount of hydration. And so yeah, so far it feels pretty good. It does have PDRN in it, which I have been talking about a little bit on my channel over like the last couple of weeks. I definitely want to do more of like a deep dive video into it, which is part of the reason why I'm starting to test this out. I've been testing out a couple of different PDRN ingredients. And so it is an ingredient that's definitely great for well aging. It's great for like cell rejuvenation, if you will, skin cell rejuvenation. It's all about helping to potentially stimulate collagen, to help with skin elasticity and firmness, and just rejuvenate the skin overall. And that's even the name, right? Rejuvenating toner. So that's kind of the word I would say to associate with PDRN. It's like skin rejuvenation. So as I mentioned, I'm keeping things a little bit lighter for my morning routine right now. So I'm going in for the Peach and the Lily Copper Peptide Pro Firming Serum. So this is actually the second bottle of this product. I do have some reviews here on my channel of the first bottle, and I absolutely loved it, and I am really loving my second go around with this product. First of all, as you can see, it's very light. There's a little bit of like a gel-like consistency to it, but it's extremely runny and quite hydrating and sinks into the skin really fast. And that's kind of what I need, because I'm going to start moving into some more moisturizing protective layers next. But I wanted to keep everything else like really thin and very hydrating, because as I mentioned, it's warm during the day, but then it like drops like 30 degrees at night, and it's quite chilly. So that's when I pull out more of my creamy serums and really nourishing a skincare routine. But for the morning, I want to keep things light. And I also, because like I said, I've been feeling a little tired, a little happy to be at the end of the week. And so these thinner, more quickly absorbed layers to help me get through my routine a little bit faster as well. All right, so I am using the Skin 1004 Probio-Cica Bakuchiol Eye Cream. And I believe I showed this to you in my last skincare routine. And I think that was the one where I was talking about my sprained wrist. And thank you guys so much. You are all so concerned. Thank you. Yeah, I was like very thrown off by that whole situation. But I actually, you know, the doctor was like, oh, it's going to take a couple of weeks to heal, but like the real sharp pain and stuff, it should only take like a week for that to go away. And you know what? It actually was even a little bit less than that. It was, I was a few days in the brace just to kind of immobilize it, because it was just, if I hit it the wrong way, it was like, ow, ow, it hurts so bad. And then it was like 3 days, and then I was out of the brace for most of the time, and then really just working on allowing my wrist to get some mobility and to stretch, because it was really the tendon that was really overstretched and sprained. And so movement is important to that, right? And look at this, you guys. It did feel a little funny when I did this, like, but just like a little like, I almost want to say like a soreness, not like a sharp pain. So it's been about 4 weeks since that's happened. And so I'm feeling so much better, so much more mobility. I'm still being careful about like lifting and things like that, but I have all my full range of motion now, and it's good. And so it wasn't actually quite as bad of a healing process as I was thinking, but I was able to, after I filmed that video, was able to take some time away from the computer during that more crucial like week of healing period. All right, it is a fall time, and I am definitely sticking by my Stratia Lipid Gold, especially for morning and nighttime. Like I said, I'm starting to move a little bit more into those nourishing layers towards the end of the routine. It is Lipid Gold, but I wiped all the print off of the bottle because it started to come off, and it was like, you know, my hands and getting on my face, and it was quite annoying. So I've actually been doing about a pump and a half now. I usually do one, but I've been wanting a little bit more recently. And then this is the Aromatica Rosehip Oil, which I know I've also shown to you in the past. I've been using this one in the morning. It's probably not quite nourishing enough once it really starts to get cold, so I might switch back to the ordinary bee oil for the nighttime. So what I do, I just wanted to pull it back and mix it off camera because it was about to run into my sleeve. I mix the oil right into the cream on my hand first, and then I apply it. And I know I say this in every video, but it's like if I don't say it, there's always going to be a question. Why do you do that? It's really brings a lot of nourishment and moisture to my skin. I love facial oil. It is bizarre. I am congestion prone, but there's something about the right facial oil that actually really suits my skin. It actually helps to keep the overproduction of oil under control for me in my T-zone especially, and it helps to keep my congestion down. That may not work for everybody, but it really, my skin chemistry, it really suits it. And like I said, the right kind of oil. It needs the right fatty acid profile for me personally, and so it helps to keep my skin hydrated, not overproducing oil, keeps it balanced, makes it look really beautiful and glossy, really conditions my skin. And I love the Lipid Gold because it keeps my barrier strong. It's ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids. There's I think it's 4% of niacinamide in here. Everything to really take care of my skin barrier, which is what helps keep my skin hydrated and keeps my skin happy, right? Now, I love both of these products. If I were to use them separately, one layer of cream, one layer of oil, it would be too much, right? I would also probably have to use a lot more than like 2-3 drops of oil in order to coat my face. But when I mix them together, I can use a little bit less of both products and apply it in one layer that feels a little bit more easier for my skin to accept, right? Rather than if I was putting them on separately and possibly making things feel a little too thick, a little too heavy, and make my skin feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm using the Purito Dermide Relief Barrier Moisturizer. Yes, I'm changing it up from CeraVe, which you know I absolutely love, but it was time to change things up to keep it interesting for myself. And so I have used this moisturizer in the past, but I have to say it has been a minute since I've used it and talked about it, and that's a shame because it's a really lovely medium moisturizer, very barrier supportive, another one with a good amount of ceramides and cholesterol and fatty acids in it. Like I said, medium weight, so it's absolutely perfect for my combo skin that, like I said, starting to feel a little bit more dry, but trying to keep things on the whole a little bit more balanced in this in-between weather. And it just sinks in like a dream. It feels so smooth and so soft, and my skin feels really great. All right, let's talk about sunscreen. I recently tried the Skin 1004 Probio-Cica GlowSun Ampoule. My God, these names. I recently tried this one. This is a new release from Skin 1004, and I do like the other products in the Probio-Cica line. I don't think I like this sunscreen though. Now, I want to be very clear. This is very much like a first impression review that I'm giving you. I was very excited about this, but I think it's irritating my skin because every time I wear it, now granted, it's only been a few times, and so every time I've worn it, it's made my skin feel itchy. You know, I was not expecting that because, you know, my favorite, my like all-time favorite is also from Skin 1004. It's the Hyalu-Cica sunscreen. And this always feels really comfy on my skin. So I was kind of expecting the same thing. And I'm not 100% sure what it is about this sunscreen, but it makes me feel really itchy. So I won't be wearing it today, but I did want to talk about it because I have had a few questions about this. This was like very much quietly released by the brand, I think in the summer. They haven't done a lot of promotion around it, so not everybody knows it's around, but you can see it's quite loose. The first time I used it, it just like completely like fell out of the bottle, and I was like, it's so runny. So it's a very runny, definitely an essence-y like sunscreen. You can see there's definitely going to be quite a bit of dew to this. So let me just kind of show you. It is a fully chemical sunscreen. I believe it's all new generation chemical filters, but it actually feels quite wet to me. And so that's why I said it's kind of more like skincare essence-y, but definitely a lot more dewy. So it's not fully dry, but you can see that it has much more of that glass skin, dewy kind of finish to it. And yeah, it's okay. It feels actually quite hydrating. So if you like that lighter, essence-y, hydrating feel with dewiness, this might be a good option for you. I will probably need to put it away for a little bit and then try it again just to kind of confirm that irritation. But like I said, I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of over it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put my skin through that today. You know, that additional testing. I think it's time to just put it away and deal with it another day. So Old Faithful here. This is the Skin 104 Hyalu-Cica sunscreen. I'm just going to go in for this today. I know it's what I usually use like in all my skincare routines, and sometimes people get bored when I use the same stuff over and over again, but it's like I'm keeping it like 100% real here. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as like skincare content creators love to test and try new things, and I do too, the reality is our skin can't always handle all those new products, and especially not all at the same time, and that's a true rookie mistake. And so the reality is, while I do test and try a lot of stuff, and I may like a lot of stuff too, what actually ends up in my personal skincare routine on a day-to-day basis is pretty much consistent. You will see me use a lot of the same stuff in my personal routines, and I'm really emphasizing my personal routines because I do test skincare products with a wide variety of skin types in mind, a wide variety of lifestyles and people in mind. And that's really important to me, to be able to speak to a wider group of people. But when it comes to my individual skin, and I always say I'm so picky, right? What you see me put on my skin on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis, year-to-year, some of you who have followed me for years see me use the same stuff from, 5 years ago. There's a good reason for that. The reality is the difference between skincare content, right, and effective skincare routines behind the scenes or off camera. Those two worlds don't always collide, right? Whoa, why am I going to this philosophical conversation about this? But I am. Sometimes what happens off camera, right, it's super boring. It's pretty much the same. And sometimes when we're watching content, we don't always understand that, right? And so like I said, I'm just trying to keep that 100% real and really show you when I'm testing new things, when things don't work out for me, how I go back and test it again, why I keep a wide variety of folks in mind when I'm talking as far as reviews and things like that and talking about products, and then what I'm doing for me and my individual skincare goals. Those can sometimes be different, and there can often be a lot of overlap too. Kind of switch gears, change the battery on the camera. Yes, I put sunscreen on my neck because I know that you're gonna say, oh, I didn't see you do that, but I did it. I just did it off camera because the battery was dying. But we got a fresh battery, y'all. Let me show you just a very quick everyday kind of beat that I've been going towards. So I'm going to use the Tula Filter Primer. This is the color Luna. So let me just show you the primer itself. So you can see it's kind of pearly, it's loose, but as you work it into your skin, you can see that there's just a kiss of color. That's why I said I'm wearing color Luna, because there are different colors, as well as one that doesn't have the pigment to it. It doesn't really deposit much, but there's just a little bit. And then there's a pearlescent-y type of look to it. You can see how it perfects the skin. It adds a touch of color. When I first started getting when I first started on YouTube, I remember people would be like, why do you wear makeup? And I'm like, because I like it. It's not really your business why I want to wear makeup for myself. They're like, you don't have to. I'm like, I'm not doing it because I have to. I'm doing it because I like it. It's self-expression. I enjoy the artistry of it. But I will say, there are some days, like I said, I'm just in that weird mood where I'm like I said, I'm over it, right? It's not a bad mood. I'm just please, let's be done with this week. And so when I'm in that type of mood, I don't want to necessarily sit here, you know what I mean, for half an hour and perfect the perfect beat, right? I just want to get on with my day. But makeup also makes me feel, you know what I mean, like pull it together, might kind of perk up my mood. And so this is really what I've been leaning on more on a day-to-day basis, is more of a natural kind of look. And do you see what it just did to my skin? Because I'm seeing it. I'm looking on the camera like, look at that. It already evened out some redness that I had on my skin, which isn't always picking up on camera, I will admit, but I can see the difference. It's bouncing the light. Even this area with this hyperpigmentation, you can see it's already a little bit more softened from just this primer prep, right? So I'm gonna go in for some concealer now. All right, so this is Tower 28 Serum Concealer, and I wear color IE, which is surprisingly a pretty good match for my skin. I just say surprising because I always have a hard time getting a good color match, but I really like this stuff, so I'm gonna put it right over that area first, because you know I definitely want to cover that up. I'll put a little bit by my nose, a little bit on my cheekbones here, a little bit of redness and discoloration on the chin. I am putting a good amount of concealer on, I will admit. I'm just kind of hitting all those like major zones on my face. I really like this because the color match is super good, but the formula is really comfortable. It's not so dry that it looks real cakey and dry, right, on my face, but it's not so wet either that it like shears out. Like the coverage itself is very good, but it's a moist enough formula that it blends in, and you know you need a really good, not only a good consistency, but you also need a good color match if you're just going to spot treat with your concealer and not like do more base makeup with it, right? And so this is actually the perfect concealer for this. And I'm just using like a beauty blender type sponge that I did run under some water and get it damp. So I am using a little bit of little technique here to also help blend it in a little bit more seamlessly and effortlessly. That damp sponge really helps. All right, and that is looking great. Definitely got some coverage on that hyperpigmentation on my cheek, evened out even just a little bit more some of the natural, right, redness on my skin. And so that's just the primer and concealer. And they're working really hard, but they're also letting my skin, my natural skin, also shine through. So it not only is a more comfortable base makeup technique for me personally, like I said, it's very breathable. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to wash all this off my face, right? It just feels really natural. Now, you know I love a good, strong statement brow. My brows are kind of already a statement as it is. So I like to play that up, and I've been using the Benefit Powmade Brow Pomade in color 4.5, and I really like this one. You do need to have a little bit of a light hand because it is just a jar, right, with the pigmented gel, and so I'm just using a stiff angled brush, and I'm just going to fill in, you know, my brows just a little bit, and like I said, just give them a little bit more shape and just a little bit more drama. All right, so that is already, like I said, just like pulling everything together. I'm gonna do a little eye makeup, but not much. I've been really into like less eye makeup lately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little bit of liner. This is the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner, and I'm just gonna put a very, very thin line right on top of my lashes. I'm not gonna really like wing it out or anything, but just give a little bit more definition, which I have quite a bit because my lashes are naturally quite dark, but just add a little bit more there. So you don't really see a line, right? But it just adds a little bit more definition to the eye without doing anything too dramatic. One little like extra oomph that I like to do is actually these little ends, these little false lash clusters. These are so cool. These are from Ardell. It's the Lash Trios, and they come in two sizes in this pack. They have like a medium and then they have like a long. I don't mess around too much with the medium ones, but the long ones are what I'm after here because these guys are so pretty, right at the outer corner of your eye. So I usually just use one cluster. If I'm going for a little bit more, I might do 2 or 3, but today I'm just gonna do 1, and it just gives a little bit of a swoop and a little bit of a pretty shape to my eye. So I'm just taking one of the longer clusters right here. See that? So like 3 little clusters of lashes, and then just with tweezers. So I have this brush on eyelash glue, and it is the dark glue, so it's going to blend into that liner, that very natural thin liner that we did. And because it's a small cluster, the glue starts to dry pretty quickly, so you want to move fairly quickly here. And I'm just putting it on the ends and just pressing it and holding it for a second, and then letting that tweezer go. If I need to reposition, the glue is still a little tacky. Okay, there we go. It is super natural, but do you see, get a little cat eye without having to do a cat eye line, right? It just really enhances a nice, really pretty curvy shape to the eye in an extremely natural, really easy way. And this is like when people say like no makeup, right? I feel like this really fits into that. I hate mascara with a passion. I actually just kind of quit wearing it a while ago, and I've mostly been relying on lashes. The reason why is my lashes they're long, they're thick, they're beautiful. They don't curl though. They just refuse, and I've done a lot throughout the years to try to make them curl, and it's just not worth it to me. I've done lash lifts. They're too expensive. They don't last long enough for me, and I also did sustain some damage. So doing those, you know, long term is not an option for me. These clusters are very affordable. They're really easy to put on. And then I don't worry about, you know, panda eye and stuff either. So these have been like really fun kind of addition to my makeup routine. All right, so just finishing off, I am going to use a little bit of lip liner. This is Dressed to the 90s lip liner from the Sephora Play collection. And this isn't necessary, but I think it kind of helps give a little bit of a fuller look to the lips. I didn't really overdraw them by any means, but you can already like, boom, my lips just pop right with that little bit of liner. And then I'm going in for the Kaja Gloss Shot, almost like a dusty rose kind of a lip gloss. There's color here, right? It's opaque, but it's also very glossy as well. And there are different colors to this lip gloss. This one is Honey Drizzle, and I do wear it in a lot of my videos. I really do enjoy it. And so that is it. It's a very, like I said, a light, very natural kind of a look, but it just sort of enhances the skin. It enhances my features just a little bit more, but it's very easy. And when I'm not doing it on camera, I would say 5-minute beat. It's very fast. So thanks for hanging out with me today as I do my routine. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm not feeling it. I'm not into it. I'm a little over it. But I will say, you know, a little bit of masking, bring a little bit more life back into my skin, some good pampering skincare, and a really quick, easy, pull it together makeup look. I'm feeling ready to conquer this day, and even just chatting with you definitely energized me. So I hope you enjoyed, and maybe this video energized your day as well. I sure hope that it did. Hey, if you're new here and you made it to the end of the video, don't forget to hit subscribe to see some more skincare content from me. And I'm so grateful that you're here with me today, and we're going to get through this together, right? So I hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are in the world. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.